So in this segment, we're going to be talking about this absolutely stupid interview with Theresa Coffey. She kind of tries to justify Liz Truss's U-turn on the Green Levy, and then she's blaming EU regulations effectively that prevent private investment in our water infrastructure. I mean, this is genuinely the height of stupidity from a Tory MP here, and it's a high bar. Let's be honest. The Tories are very unintelligent.
Liz Truss has committed to the net zero target, but on the other hand, she's also called solar farms the most depressing side. She won't rule out more North Sea drilling, and she's talked about, or she's planned to scrap the green levy on our energy bills. I mean, it sounds pretty inconsistent.
She wants more drilling in the North Sea, which means more oil and gas, I think. She wants to kind of have a quite moratorium on the green levy. That's not very green, is it? Let's be honest here.
Well, I think it's about having a moratorium on the green levy, which adds about £150, £160 to people's energy bills.
And let's not forget, energy bills are going up potentially by about £5,000. The cap will be set at £4,000, potentially £5,000, depending on what Ofgem come up with. I mean, £150, yes, it will help slightly, but that's not going to dent 5,000 or 4,000 either.
To fund elements of that through general spending rather than putting it on energy bills. So that's one way to help households directly with the cost of living, particularly at this challenging time. But I'm very conscious. I'm MP in the east of England.
Liz Truss also said that she finds solar farms an eyesore and that farmers should be planting crops. Well, if energy bills weren't so high, they wouldn't need massive solar farms, would they? And also the fact that those solar farms are good for the environment and in terms of generating solar energy rather than using fossil fuels. Ridiculous statements from Liz.
Going through these challenges right now with whether it's about farmers or households, and it is a problem, and that's why
she's just waffling.
Unlocking regulations so we get more investment into things like reservoirs, into improvements to water supplies. Those are the sorts of things if we can get more private investment in by getting rid of some of the European regulations that we have.
The European regulations, so we're back to Brexit.
Those sorts of things will start to make it easier to secure that investment and have that long-term approach in improving our water infrastructure, but also other utilities as well.
I don't know if the reporter's going for the mannequin challenge because she barely moved or said anything, but I would have been straight on that. I would have said what European regulations, because at the end of the day, they're blaming the Victorians now. Tories can't blame the Victorians for sewage problems. They blamed Victorian infrastructure. Surely, the Victorians lived hundreds of years ago. Surely someone should have changed the infrastructure out by now. Surely we should have done that as a country. You're blaming people that lived ages ago. It's like Kent's council charge that the Romans are to blame for the potholes in Kent's road. I mean, it's madness. Now she's blaming the EU for the state of our water infrastructure, about the pollution. Saying we need private companies to invest. They ain't going to invest the money. Why would they? They've got a sweet deal. They make so much money. They allow so much pollution to happen because the government ain't going to stop it. It takes years for investigations by the regulator to do anything, and then the fines are not much either, and they can just pass the cost of the fines onto the consumer. They genuinely have a win-win scenario. Why would they invest in the infrastructure? There's no incentive. It's expensive. Why would they do it? The water leaks, they just pass that cost on to consumer as well. Who cares? Genuinely just so dumb. This stuff should be nationalised. Any key utility should be nationalised, in my opinion, and water is one of those. Blaming the goddamn Victorians, blaming the EU. I mean, she didn't blame the Victorians, say this is another Tory MP, but that's the kind of state of the brains in the Tory party. This is their best, apparently. I despair at these people. Honestly, morons. A lot of them are morons. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one.